गंगा जमुना में जब आपने सील करने का ऑर्डर दिया था तो ऑफ कोर्स बहुत अप्रूव था एंड काफ़ी सारे लोगों ने उसके अगेंस्ट में भी बात की थी।
I looked at it from both the legal perspective as well as the social issues as well. 8, 9 year old girl kidnapped from a railway station in Devas ends up gets sold in these premises for a hefty amount of something like 15-20 lakhs. She is given hormonal injections, she grows up, she's pushed into this prostitution. And when we happen to rescue the girl, we trace their parents. The unfortunate situation that even the parents were not very keen to take the girl back. I mean, how unfortunate can it be?
हेलो, मैं हूँ राधिका धवड़ और आज मेरे साथ आई थैंक माई पुलिस में नागपुर पुलिस कमिश्नर मिस्टर अमितेश कुमार जुड़े हैं। अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम सर।
Thank you so much.
नागपुर फरवरी मंथ में मर्डर फ्री डिक्लेयर किया था। ऑफ कोर्स दैट्स अ ह्यूज अचीवमेंट एंड मेनी कांग्रेचुलेशंस फॉर दैट।
Thank you.
बट वाज इट बाय डिज़ाइन और बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट? मतलब पुलिस को कितना इसमें श्रेय मिलना चाहिए?
एज यू नो, नागपुर हमेशा से एक क्रिटिसिज्म नागपुर पुलिस के बारे में और नागपुर के बारे में एक रहा है कि यहाँ पे वायलेंट ऑफेंसेस, वायलेंट क्राइम्स बहुत ज़्यादा हैं। विशेष तौर पे आप देखेंगे तो शुरू से ये एक कि मर्डर्स बहुत होते, स्ट्रीट क्राइम्स बहुत ज़्यादा होते और बहुत बार इस प्रकार की टीका होती रही है कि पुलिस कार्रवाई नहीं कर रही और पुलिस की गुनहगार के ऊपर वचक नहीं है। मैं बहुत जब से मैं चार्ज लिया हूँ, मैं उस समय से बताता आ रहा हूँ कि हमारी एक पुलिस की मेजर प्राथमिकता शहर में वायलेंट ऑफेंसेस, मर्डर्स और इस तरह के जो रोड पे होने वाले स्ट्रीट क्राइम्स हैं, उनको प्रिवेंट करना हमारी सबसे बड़ी प्राथमिकता है। मैं हमेशा से फर्स्ट डे से मैं बोलता रहा हूँ कि इसकी जो भी उपाय योजना शुरू होगी, ये कोई मिरेकल स्टिक नहीं है कि इसकी ओवरनाइट हमको रिजल्ट मिलेगी। ये जो हमारी एफर्ट्स है उसको नीचे ग्रास रूट लेवल तक परकुलेट होने में टाइम लगती है, लेकिन हमारी एफर्ट्स कंटिन्यूअस शुरू थी। हमारे सभी सीनियर ऑफिसर्स, डीसीपीज, एसीपी, सीनियर पीआईज एंड कांस्टेबल्स, जो हमारी टारगेट थी यही थी कि शहर का जो एक क्राइम कैपिटल करके हमेशा जो लोग क्रिटिसाइज़ करते रहे हैं, इसको हम इस ये जो एक ब्लॉट है उसको विल ट्राई एंड वाइप इट आउट। हमने बहुत सारे स्टेप्स लिए हैं, प्रोफेशनल जो भी हमको लीगली, प्रोफेशनली जो मैंडेटेड है, जो ज़रूरी है, बहुत सारे एक्सपेरिमेंटल मेजर्स हमने लिए। हमने अनप्रेसिडेंटेड क्रिमिनल्स को एमपीडीए के अंडर डिटेन किए। हमने एमसीओसी एक्ट के अंतर्गत बहुत सारी कार्रवाई की, एक्सटर्नमेंट तड़ीपार बहुत सारे क्रिमिनल्स को किए, विजिबल स्ट्रीट पुलिसिंग बहुत सारे किए, कुछ जुवेनाइल क्रिमिनल्स को हमने काउंसलिंग की। बहुत सारे स्टेप्स ओवर द ईयर लिए गए हैं और कुछ लोगों की ये क्रिटिसिज्म है, कुछ लोगों का ये आक्षेप है कि इज़ इट बाय डिज़ाइन और इज़ इट बाय चांस। आई वुड से कि पिछले अगर आप ट्रेंड देखेंगे, स्पेशली आफ्टर अगस्त सितंबर के बाद से ओवरऑल डिक्लाइनिंग ट्रेंड रहा है। जो मर्डर्स एवरेज में शहर में 100 मर्डर्स हिस्टोरिकली हर साल होते रहे हैं, हमने 30 साल की फिगर्स देखी है, तो 100 मर्डर्स अगर लें तो एवरेज में 8.5 मर्डर्स पर मंथ होते रहे हैं। अगर हम पिछले 3-4 महीने की फिगर्स देखें तो ये फिगर 5, 4, 3 इस तरह से डिक्लाइन होते होते फरवरी में 0 आया है। इट इज़ सर्टनली बाय डिज़ाइन, बहुत ही मेटिकुलस एफर्ट्स इसमें लगे हैं। अभी मार्च में भी अगर देखा जाए तो मार्च में फ्रैंकली आज तक 2 मर्डर्स हुए हैं, ये फैक्ट है। लेकिन ये कुछ मर्डर्स होते, कुछ इंसिडेंट्स होते जो अनप्रिवेंटेबल होते। फॉर एग्जांपल, कल किसी व्यक्ति ने अपने घर की वाइफ, बच्चों को मार के खुद सुसाइड कर लिया। इस प्रकार के इंसिडेंट्स होते रहते हैं जो प्रोफेशनल तौर पे प्रिवेंटेबल नहीं होते हैं। बट अभी भी वो ट्रेंड जो डिक्लाइनिंग है वो है एंड बहुत सारी एफर्ट्स इसमें हमारी गई है। सर्टेनली हमने काफ़ी सारे लॉरेल्स लिए, काफ़ी सारे लोगों ने तारीफ़ की कि फरवरी वाज अ ज़ीरो मंथ एंड it is historically it's been the first month ever that there's been no murders in over a month. Certainly the pressure to perform, the challenge to keep this trend sustainable would be there on us, and we are accepting this challenge with all humility, and I can assure the people of Nagpur that the efforts will not leave any stone unturned to keep this trend on a sustainable basis and try and keep the violent crimes in Nagpur well under control.
सर, कुछ लोगों का ये भी मानना है कि शायद मर्डर्स हुए भी होंगे पर वो रिकॉर्ड नहीं हुए। तो हाउ डू यू लुक एट दिस?
देखिए, ये मैं आपको पुलिस, पूरी पुलिस फोर्स की तरफ से, पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से बताना चाहूँगा। एक आध छोटे मोटे इंसिडेंट्स, चोरी, साइकिल चोरी और इस प्रकार के मोबाइल चोरी एक आध बार रजिस्टर नहीं होते होंगे, ये मैं मान सकता हूँ, और वो भी मैं नागपुर में बहुत ही सीरियसली लेता हूँ। मर्डर्स रजिस्टर नहीं हो, प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल नहीं है। यहाँ पे मीडिया बहुत एक्टिव है, यहाँ पे लोग बहुत अवेयर हैं, और पुलिस इतनी ख़राब नहीं है कि वो मर्डर्स को बर्क करें जस्ट टू टेक लॉरेल्स। एब्सोल्युटली impossible. Bulking of offense या minimization of offense is not our style. Our style has been that we would freely register offenses, whatever crime takes place, we'll register it, we'll diagnose the problem, and then once the problem is diagnosed, we'll find a solution to it. That's been our style, that's been my style, and there is no question of minimizing offenses just to project some good statistics. And overall feel good factor is there. I mean, you are a member of the press, you interact with the members of the public on a different platform as compared to us. I am sure whatever feedback I am getting, I might be incorrect, but the kind of feedback which I am getting from a lot of stakeholders is that there is a feel good factor amongst the people. There is generally a sense of faith about the police amongst the people. And our, in fact, first and foremost goal is that we should go all out for redressal of grievances of people, and people should have faith in the police. Whoever is a aggrieved person should confidently come to the police station and register an offense, and they should have faith in the police. At the same time, anti-social जो criminals हैं त्यांना कायद्याची भीती वाटायला पाहिजे, त्यांना पोलीस स्टेशनची पायरी चढताना त्यांना कम्फर्ट लेवल त्यांना नसायला पाहिजे, ही पण आमची धारणा आहे, and we are trying to do it. So there is absolutely, I mean, whoever has doubts that this figure, this statistics has been manipulated just to show that, I would say
by
that
not manipulated, I mean to say कि report ही नहीं हुए, so
the
that's
murders, every birth and every death is has to be registered, and the protocols are so stringent that there's no way that a murder can go unreported, and the police would not know about a murder or someone disposing of a dead body without informing the police is legally not possible. It is a huge offense. That's absolutely not possible.
नागपुर को क्राइम कैपिटल का एक अनफॉर्चुनेटली टैग मिला है, तो अ लॉट हैज़ बीन राइडिंग ऑन योर शोल्डर्स, तो आप इस टैग को टू जस्ट गेट रिड ऑफ द टैग आप कौन से एफर्ट्स ले?
I told you, yes, I said that people might be saying कि अभी बढ़ गया, कभी बढ़ गया, पिछले 5 साल में बढ़ गया, अगले 10 साल में बढ़ गया. That's not been the case. Historically, Nagpur has been having a high instances of violent crimes. अगर हम NCRB की डेटा देखें तो amongst the instances of murder, it is ranked among the first top 5 historically. Patna, Lucknow, Surat, Nagpur, these are the cities which have been aggregating per capita murders of approximately 3.5 to 4, which is actually a huge number. That's why I said that the day I took over, the first and foremost motto of target which I set for myself and then for all my staff was that we would try and wipe off this blot, keep crime well under control. And that's the reason why I said that we have been having these violent offenses as our issue of top priority, and the series of steps which we have taken, which I just mentioned a while back, and a host of other steps have actually helped in controlling this high instances of crime. And one, a lot of people may agree, a lot of people might not agree, but the fact is that Ganga Jamuna area, which has been a red light area in central India since a long time. I mean, there is no other red light area as big as Ganga Jamuna in Vidarbha or after Bhopal on this side, after Jabalpur on this side, Raipur on this side, Chandrapur on the other side. It has been a type of a magnet for criminals to come to this area, and while coming and going back, it had been noticed that they indulge in a lot of criminal activities. After the closure of Ganga Jamuna, or an attempt to close, most of it is certainly closed, we have seen that there are reduced instances of criminals moving around this area, and that's been the overall feel-good factor in that area. For example, after the closure of the Ganga Jamuna area in Zone 3 area, which is in that area, there have been no murders at all in the last 4 or 5 months. I told you a lot of concerted efforts, professional, legal, some experimental, some out of the box, some which is some action like the decision about Ganga Jamuna. We've taken a host of decisions and actions, and probably that's all now showing results. And certainly the challenge is that we'll have to keep this trend going on, and we would continue to take these steps and other innovative and experimental measures to keep crime totally under control.
बट गंगा जमुना में जब आपने सील करने का ऑर्डर दिया था तो ऑफ कोर्स बहुत अप्रूव था एंड काफ़ी सारे लोगों ने उसके अगेंस्ट में भी बात की थी। बट हाउ डू यू लुक एट दिस कि जो वहाँ के सेक्स वर्कर्स हैं उनके लिए वो एक डेली इनकम रहा है एंड नाउ दे आर स्ट्रगलिंग, तो एक ऐसे इंसान जिनके पास ये अथॉरिटी है टू सील दैट प्लेस, क्या आप पे एक बर्डन या एक हैवी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं
See,
फील होता?
I looked at it from both the legal perspective as well as the social issues as well. Now, as far as the legal position is concerned, while it is admitted that prostitution per se is not banned, however, running of organized brothel houses, soliciting in public places, or prostitution in a public area is certainly banned under the Act. Now, if something is banned under the Act, the police certainly cannot allow it to function. I am not answerable for why it was running since 300 years and it's been a place which has been running historically and things like that. I cannot answer to that. But one thing is clear, that there was open violation of the legal provisions which was going on in that area. That was certainly unacceptable. Number two, there were host of instances when minors as young as 9 years and 10 years were pushed into this prostitution by these pimps and these brothel house owners, and these people have been rescued in the past. Despite police action, the minors were trafficked, women were trafficked against their will, and we had clearly noticed that. I mean, how can we allow young minors and women against their will to come into this profession, and how can we be a mute spectator? That was the other legal question which came to our mind. The third, I would say that one of the immediate triggers was when we noticed that a young 8-9-year-old girl kidnapped from a railway station in Devas ends up gets sold in these premises for a hefty amount of something like 15-20 lakhs. She is given hormonal injections, she grows up, she is pushed into this prostitution, and when we happen to rescue the girl, we trace their parents. The unfortunate situation that even the parents were not very keen to take the girl back. I mean, how unfortunate can it be? And these were all by organized brothel house owners in collaboration with the pimps who were trafficking young minors and young women against their will. These were the legal issues which certainly we could not have been a mute spectator to it. Now, as far as the social issue is concerned, certainly what you say is that these are sex workers, there are sex workers who have been there for a long time, and there would be issues of rehabilitation, there are issues of their livelihood. I have been time and again saying that the police would take a lead, and in coordination with all other agencies are totally committed for the rehabilitation of these sex workers. We have made several appeals where we issued pamphlets, we have sent loudspeakers and announced on PA systems, but somehow there is an organized racket who is trying to block this. They've been acting as a roadblock. For example, we rescued a minor girl. She was around 17 years old girl. We sent her back. She was again, the parents were again attempting to sell her back in some red light area in Bombay or Pune. The grandmother sent the girl to Nagpur and said that go, police is taking action there, go and report this there, the police would take care of that. And the young girl with a 7-year-old brother came to the police station and she lodged a complaint, and she was saying that again the brothel house owners of this area in league with other people are trying to sell me again, and please help me. There has been an issue where we have rescued a 17-year-old girl. We have not just left her, we have helped her get a boy who would marry her and who would rehabilitate her. The girl has been married and she is happily living now. So our issue of rehabilitation, we are totally concerned and committed to it. However, we see that there are some people, I mean, it's unfortunate that a person belonging to a reputed NGO getting some government funds also was a part of the agitation opposing police action in the Ganga Jamuna. So I happened to ask the member of that organization as to how you are working, you are getting government funds for AIDS control. How come you are agitating that the Ganga Jamuna should not be closed and it should go on. So their answer was that we are able to take better care of the HIV positive patients, and that's why we are agitating that the police should stop action. I mean, it's so unfortunate. I mean, there are issues of confidentiality on the issues of HIV, but I'm sure at some point of time you may study this issue as to how HIV, what impact the HIV positive patients could have on the society due to the activities, if in case it happens to start in Ganga Jamuna, what impact would it have on the society? I mean, I would not be able to comment more on it for issues of some legal and some confidential issues. But the point is that we are totally committed to the issue of rehabilitation. My only question is that how can we justify socially, ethically, morally, legally, or by whatever means, the idea that we have young women against their will being sold to Ganga Jamuna and being drawn towards this profession, if you call it so, which is called the prostitution. I mean, if the parents of the family of the girl wants to sell the girl for prostitution for money or for poverty or for whatever reasons, we as a society, I mean, we cannot accept it. I mean, there has to be a line. It is legally not correct. It is ethically, morally, socially incorrect. However, I have been time and again saying that whoever wants to come and have a discussion on this issue, whatever expectations they have, we are ready to discuss it. In case we find that we need to modify it suitably, we are certainly open to it. There's no question of ego or there's no question of anything else. The decision of the police was challenged in the High Court also. Some of the petitions have been dismissed, some of them are pending, and it is certainly subject to judicial scrutiny and judicial review. But I am very, very sure that as on date, there is no bar on the police action legally, socially, ethically, morally, or as per any other norms.
सर, नागपुर में एनसीपी लीडर ज्वाला धोटे, इन्होंने कहा, आपको जनरल डायर कहा, उन्होंने कहा कि गंगा जमुना को आपने एक जलियांवाला बाग बना दिया है। तो
हम किसी व्यक्ति विशेष के बारे में टिप्पणी नहीं करना चाहेंगे। लोकशाही पद्धति में सभी को आंदोलन करने का और एजिटेशन करने का अधिकार है। जब तक कोई भी लोकशाही पद्धति से आंदोलन एजिटेशन करते रहे, हमें उसके बारे में कोई टिप्पणी नहीं करनी है। कुछ व्यक्तिगत टीका टिप्पणी कुछ लोगों ने किया है, उसके बारे में भी मैं आई डोंट फील इट अप्रोप्रिएट टू कमेंट ऑन ईच एंड एवरी comment which has been made, some parliamentary, some unparliamentary, some aggressive or whatever. Everyone has a right. There's a freedom of speech in the country. They can do whatever they want to within the framework of law. The moment they take law in their hand, they should be ready for strict and legal police action, and that they should be totally prepared for it. This allegation that it has been made like a Jallianwala Bagh and allegations that we were doing it at the behest of a builder lobby, etc., etc., totally unfounded. They are stray allegations made with a vested interest, which I would not like to comment on.
कुछ दिन पहले नागपुर में क्वेटा कॉलोनी में पुरोहित नर्सिंग होम के पास में 6 fetuses मिले थे। डू यू थिंक ये एक अंडरलाइंग नेक्सस है मे बी ऑफ इलीगल अबॉर्शंस?
Cannot be ruled out, and the investigation from all angles is in progress. The preliminary findings suggests, as per the statement of the doctors and the caretakers and the bhangarwala and the beggars, it primarily what transpires is that they had been procured a couple of years back for the purposes of training of intern doctors. However, we are not taking it on face value. We have sent the fetuses for postmortem to determine the age of the fetus. Age meaning whether indeed they were 5-6 years old or they are recent. In case we find that it is recent, certainly whatever you are saying is correct. We will have to go into the underlying issues, whether it's a nexus, whether it's illegal abortion or things like that. However, if we find that it is indeed 5, 7, 8 years old, even then there are certain issues which does arise. For example, whether they were procured at that point of time as per the mandated protocol, whether they were stored properly, whether they were authorized to store it, whether they were authorized to train intern doctors, and if at all of them are correct, then why did they do negligence in their medical disposal of these, disposal of these medical waste? That's also a question which the doctors will have to answer. We are looking at it from all points of view. The moment the postmortem report and some other FSL reports are pending. The moment we get them, we'll be able to answer a lot of questions, and we'll get a proper direction to the investigation.
नागपुर पुलिस ने वुमेन सेफ्टी के बारे में हमेशा काफ़ी सारी बातें कही है, बट ऐसा लगता है कि अनफॉर्चुनेटली अ लॉट हैज़ नॉट बीन सेड अबाउट द ड्रग मेनेंस ऑल्सो इन नागपुर. यंगस्टर्स बहुत ज़्यादा ड्रग कंजम्पशन से अफेक्टेड है, तो इज़ इट नॉट दैट इम्पॉर्टेंट एन इशू?
Certainly, crime against women certainly is a issue of top priority, but drugs, I would say, has been. I've always been saying that it's a very, very important issue, especially for the younger generation. And I forgot to tell you while enumerating the steps we have taken for towards achieving this zero murder month of February on the issues of drug peddling as well as consumption. Open grounds have been identified where people generally gather in the afternoon or the evening hours for consumption of drugs. There were certain medicines which they were using for intoxication. All these have been handled with an iron hand, and we are not encouraging any soft peddling on issues of drug peddling as well as consumption. Very, very strict action has been taken. Some of them have been externed. Some MCOC cases are in pipeline. And the issue is very, very serious and important, not only on the adverse impact it has on the younger generation, but also how it has an adverse impact on the crime situation per se, because we have found out that a lot of violent offences which are committed have the accused having had consumed intoxicating substances and psychotropic substances. So it is an issue of top priority, and we are handling it.
Inclusiveness or strictness, what underscores your philosophy of policing?
See, it is both. I mean, first and foremost, no single person can police a city of this magnitude. Neither can 8,000. We have a strength of 8,000 in Nagpur City Police. We cannot police the streets. We cannot be omnipresent. It has to be the inclusiveness of all stakeholders. I mean, the women help groups, the political groups, the business community, general public have to work along with the police and be their eyes and ears to help achieve the goal of a disciplined city. I must say that the kind of help, support, motivation, guidance we have got from all stakeholders has been indeed very encouraging, because I love to meet people. I love to meet the aggrieved people. I love to meet people to take a feedback about what they feel about the police, what we should do about improving or changing our style. And I like interacting with people. Unfortunately, during the Corona time, this interaction was little less in the sense that I couldn't go to public programs. However, my office, I mean, I encouraged people to come to my office and have one-to-one discussions, and we have had a lot of stakeholders coming and helping us, and that's how I think I would say. I mean, I would not like to be appreciating myself, but I would certainly say that certainly there is a feel-good factor, and even statistically and otherwise, we feel that the city is much peaceful than it was in the earlier days. And I hope to continue this trend. And we certainly would like to take everyone together in this drive, in our target to make Nagpur crime free.
आपकी काफ़ी fan following है social media पे, and especially on YouTube. There's a well-wisher who's always commenting on your posts. So, are you aware of any such thing?
No, I am actually, frankly, not very active personally on the social media. But yes, we have a digital communication cell. I have a personal, my private Facebook account, which frankly I'm not too active on. However, we have the Nagpur City Police and the CP Nagpur Facebook page. We have a Twitter handle, which is managed professionally by a digital media communication cell, and they keep on posting those professional posts. On YouTube, we do not have any presence on the YouTube. Frankly, I'm not aware of any whatever comments which comes. But yes, we know that there has been, we get a presentation every month. There's been an immense increase in the followings, both on the Twitter handle as well as on the Facebook of Nagpur City Police and the CP Nagpur. And on Instagram also, though Instagram hasn't picked up as fast as we would have liked it to, but Facebook and Twitter we're doing pretty well, and we're trying to handle it professionally.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable time.
Thank you.
Subscribe to Nation Next YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get regular updates from Nation Next. Also like Nation Next Facebook page and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.